Welcome back, everyone. Going into the third hour here of roleplay Sphynx and Satyr. We're back. It's all good. Sorry about the longer break. Yeah, not a big deal. We're splitting the group up. What are we doing?
Yeah, we are. Who do we want to follow first? Because I imagine like me and Hector jump out the back of this thing and then off we go.
Well, let's pick up there because you might find that you're gonna all be there for a moment.
Okay.
Let's not worry about that. Let's not worry about it. So you pull up. The van screeches to a stop. The goblins yell at you. They're like, "Do you want us to stay again this time?" In there.
I think some of us are staying with you, so hold tight.
We're gonna just keep charging, right? This is just our gonna be our daily rate at this point.
Our deal is our deal, and like there's some like text message like conversation where I like told them how much I was gonna pay them, and I didn't. It's very much like that manipulation that she's probably learned from being around Lilith, and like, yeah.
Oh yeah. So you pull up, and at the crossroads of the street, there's several buildings. There's probably a new set of condos. There's a bunch of stuff going, a bunch of like normal things in the area. Like it is, except there is on one of the corners an empty lot. It is pretty large at this point. Like multiple houses could be built on it, and it will probably be destroyed at some point. In order to make townhomes, because that's what everything is. That's what everything happens to be in Seattle at this point. So the lot itself is pretty large. It's empty. You don't see anything there, but it is the address that you were directed to by Miss Holly.
There will be some sort of intersection. Don't worry, some sort of fey intersection here. Just a matter of finding the appropriate location.
I like things I can see and touch, so if you can make those things happen for me, that would be ideal.
You want me to manifest a portal to the realm of the Fae in the middle of this mortal street? I think maybe we should be a bit more careful than that, personally.
You're being sarcastic, aren't you?
Do you know how much paperwork there is when mortals see things they're not supposed to? It's a lot. It's a lot for me.
Well, when you complain about, I'm very worried about the paperwork. Yeah.
Right. Well, let's
just go find it, shall we?
Let's see what we can find. You're looking for anything out of place. Rock that looks strange, a branch of some weird variety of plant that shouldn't be here. You know, that kind of thing. Empty lots. You'll have to take a look around. I'm not as good at the detailed looking.
So as you step out and you head towards, you kind of cross the street. They've probably parked like right outside of the Starbucks, and one of the goblins like, "All right, I'll be right back." Anyway, what do you guys want? Double chocolate frappuccino. And they like hop out and go into Starbucks. They don't care what the world thinks of them. And you walk across the street and you sort of are faced with a chain link fence around the entire lot and this billboard sign that basically says, permission for land use application is being reviewed. And it looks like the dates on it are all scratched out and graffitied over, so you're not actually sure how long this lot has been abandoned. The entire thing is covered in brambles and blackberry bushes. But if you would like to do some detecting before you get in, if not, you're probably going to have to climb or somehow get past the fence.
I'm just going to turn to Lilith at this point and say, looking at this very imposing chain link fencing and all that stuff, it's like, have we really considered...
Cyclops in the van.
Yeah. Have we really considered all our options here? I mean, is there a way we can form a new deal? There could be someone that really wants to be a fey creature and can do a nice swap, you know?
See, initially that was my first thought, but I think this whole situation is made so that this fey gets what they want out of the fey realm. They don't want to make a deal with one of my peers, for example, and become a demon, or make a deal with one of your peers and become a lich.
Whoa, that's offensive. How could you don't say that?
It's okay for a lich
I'm
to call
voluntarily
each other
inhabiting my body. Thank you. That's what
Yes, I suppose the lich would be inaccurate. Unless your body is also your phylactery, which I suppose it could be.
What? How dare you?
I'm off topic. Find the gate. That's the
Was-
important thing.
You're in front of the gate. It's padlocked.
Oh.
I mean,
Never
I could
mind.
do
We
the-
found the gate.
If you want the old school method, I'm more than capable.
No, let me see if I know about unlocking Fey gates here. There's a book, I think.
This
Open
one
it like.
is very human-looking lock. Like, it is a padlock. It is the
Oh.
greatest challenge to all RPG players.
Yeah, I open up this book about Fey locks and then just look down and it's just a regular human, like padlock.
Padlock.
Oh, close, tuck away. Yes,
Gonna-
old method. Best.
Yep. I go to the back of the van and mono vision. You in there? Knock knock.
At this point, you have your Starbucks drink.
Okay. Yeah, I think the door just like slams open. I'm just taking a long sip of the drink. Yeah, you issues with the Fae already? You back?
No. We need to get through a padlock. Could you just rummage through my trench coat without taking it off the cage and look for my bolt cutters, please? Little
Yeah.
tiny ones.
You just have bolt cutters in your trench coat.
Little tiny portable bolt cutters. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. Do I need to ask what else I'm going to find in this? And I kind of reach back, start going through the trench coat. It's fine. I'm not going to hurt you or anything. Just give me a second. I'm reaching around. I grab the pliers. What I think are pliers. Do I pull out pliers when I pull something out of the trench coat?
I
lot
assume
of
so.
stuff in
What
there.
else do you have in
Yeah,
there?
that's
Loads
Well,
of things.
like 3 sticks of chewing gum, a roll of duct tape, a pack of cigarettes, an address book that's from like 1967,
okay.
and something that is sticky,
Okay.
and then a pair of bolt cutters.
Yeah, eventually I get the bolt cutters.
So where those?
I'm
Put
just
that
not
back where
going to
you
put
found it.
everything I took out of there. You could do without actually. Smoking's
I
bad
think-
for you.
You put that
I
back.
think that I reach my hand out for the address book and I don't say anything, but I'm looking at Eris like I want to basically I just want to go through your shit.
Eris tries to wink at you, but he only has one eye, so it's just a long blink, and he looks kind of odd. And then he kind of smiles slyly, and I hand Hector the bolt cutters.
Thank you. Strange. Need some eye drops or something.
No, it's a Cyclops thing. Don't worry about it.
All right. Keep quiet, okay?
Yeah.
Just in case.
No problem.
Okay.
We got I got my drink, and I rattle the cup.
Perfect. Cool.
Slurp,
I'm gonna-
slurp.
See the goblins coming back from Starbucks, like, oh, I really wanted a coffee. Like,
I refuse to order or drink anything.
Okay.
It's just everybody slurping on very large beverages, except of course the one that Eris has is a venti, but it looks like a tiny little short.
Exactly. I shut the back of the van once again.
So you take your tiny bolt cutters back to the
Yeah.
padlock, which
They're one-handed,
realize-
so
yeah, you probably realize that they're not going to work super well on the padlock, but they'll work on the fence.
perfect. So I do the classic back up against the fence, looking left and right sharply, kind of doing way too much to make sure the coast is clear. And
There's
then
like 7 people walk past you that time. Like they just whatever.
So I'm just
they're on their phone.
just rubbing myself, checking my nails and waiting for them to pass.
Okay. Got that moment where passerby looks at me strange, and I just go like, convention, yeah.
Someone goes, I love your cosplay.
Yeah.
Are you so and so from such and such?
Definitely, certainly, yes, of course.
Yeah, and
Someone
I
takes
up
a selfie
the.
with you.
I look away for that one. Make
Yeah.
sure I'm covered. Yeah, check out the bolt cutters, look at the padlock, and then start going to town on the fence. Trying to make a silhouette of myself.
You snip around yourself and you get like a human-sized silhouette, and you kind of knock the fence back, and there is a hole in it that both of you could fit through.
Come on, quick. Stop taking
Right.
selfies and get in.
It's not my fault. I'm inconspicuous. And then go through the
That's
hole.
what they call it, right? Selfies. Yeah.
I-
Can't do it on my Nokia.
You're a phone that can store 10 text messages at a time,
Yeah.
and you play Snake on.
Yeah.
So
Snake two.
you
Come on.
Oh yeah. Sorry, the upgrade, the better version of the game. So you step through, you go through, and like you crunch through the brambles. It is clearly there is clearly no path. Like it's not someone has walked through here. It's just covered in blackberry bushes, and everything sort of like sticks. Any open bear skin that you have will get scratched as you walk through. Go ahead and give me your detective or detecting skills that you would like to use.
Boom.
I don't know that I have many detecting skills.
Then you can roll a 2d6.
Yeah, why not?
Because if you have no qualities in it, you are average at it. Therefore, it is 2d6. So, with a 7, you spend a lot of time just being preoccupied by the fact that all of the blackberry bushes are clinging to your robe, and they're scratching you.
It's not really a fantastic. It's not a fantastic situation for Black Robe right now.
But Hector, you are looking around and you're like, ha, 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 ha. Most of it is actually completely mundane, but you do vaguely remember her describing looking for things that seem out of place, like patterns within leaves or nature and things like that. And in true classic form, as you walk to what would have been a few meters away from the actual gate with the padlock on it, you see a ring in the ground of quite large and brightly colored toadstools.
This. I found something.
Yes, I'm coming. Stupid thorns. You get like pulling my robe out of these bushes and make it over beside you. That
It's a ring.
That's going to be it. Here, I'll go first. Like straighten up in case there's somebody on the other side, and brush my robes down a little bit, get the thorns out. And then step into the ring of toadstools.
As you step into the ring of toadstools, like you sort of stand there, and like nothing really happens. It's sort of like they don't like glow. There's no light. There's nothing around you really changes. You feel like a light breeze and maybe a slight damp smell on the breeze is about all that happens. Both of you, if you would like, can also give me either your 2d6 or some sort of detecting related skill.
What about a knowledge related skill?
Yeah, you could do that too. You can be your research assistant for like what you know about portals to Fae.
This is definitely beyond me, so I'm 2d6ing it.
Okay. Well, you can also give me just like an actual sensory perception. So something for just observing the world around you. But yeah, you have no idea how Fae circles are protected. With 17, on the other hand, you know that sometimes Fae circles are protected, and that if you are not a Fae creature and you step into one, you may cause the manifestation of whatever creatures are protecting said circle.
Oh.
What? What's wrong?
I may have miscalculated. Something may be coming to check if we're supposed to be using this portal.
Did you roll your detective skill, Hector? See whether or not you hear it before they...
13.
They're not quiet. You hear what sounds like thud, thud, ribbit. And
Is it loud thuds? Like really big one?
Very loud thuds. And suddenly one of the patches of brambles, like a couple of patches of brambles around you just get smushed down, and there are 2 giant toads looking at you.
Holy crap.
They are massive. They are probably about the size of Eris. Like, they would give him a run for money on their size. They've got bumpy, slimy, frog-like skin and these massive eyes that are, like, both fixed on you.
Dear sir, madam, whatever you prefer, honorific of choice, we are hoping that we might be able to speak to someone who would represent the Lady Titania from the Sealy Court. We have some information.
Sticks out its tongue and just like splats you in the face and kind of licks you.
My glasses.
You grab your glasses, and you realize they were like tasting you to make sure you were not Fae. and you hear like this grumbling croak in their voice as another 2 thuds are kind of heard slightly farther back on the empty plot of land.
Lilith, do we need backup?
The 2 of you in the van, if you would like to see if you notice anything that's happening. If you are actively paying attention, then you don't have a penalty, but if not, you will roll any sort of observing skill that you have with a penalty die for drinking a Frappuccino.
I mean, I think I was snooping in Hector's address book, so I'm probably distracted.
Cool. Yeah, so go ahead. Yours would probably be your detective. Maybe Slippery, because that is also kind of, or Naga, because you could do either of those, because they're kind of your like awareness of the world around you, like how sensitive are you to sounds and tastes and things like that.
I think it's gonna be Naga then, because it's definitely like my sensitivity to like sounds and stuff that I'm gonna
especially vibrations.
Yeah, so that's gonna be where I'm getting my -1 or whatever.
Yeah, if you're at a penalty, so drop the lowest die. Or sorry, penalty, drop the highest. So roll one extra.
Is that the one with the K or KL?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what.
Yeah, the KL, it's KL would be keep the lowest number. So you would roll either 4d6, keep the lowest 3.
Okay.
I figured that out when I was reading the macro. It's like, that makes so much sense.
So I'm rolling 3d6 or 4d6, keep the lowest 3.
Mm-hmm.
Is what you want. Okay. Does that work?
Yep. There you go.
Yay! I got an 11.
You still rolled very well.
I'm good at role-playing game.
You, as the Naga, like, you're like looking in this address book, and I imagine in Hector's address book, some of them are listed in perhaps more personal ways in terms of how he relates to said individual.
How is your address book arranged?
Yeah. So anyway, regardless, it's a very interesting read. You're learning a lot about Hector's youth.
It's great.
And however,
There's a wife in there
feel
somewhere.
that vibration of the ground as like these massive frogs are jumping. So you don't know what it is, but you know that there's some, like maybe it's just construction work, but there's something happening that wasn't happening before that relates to large heavy objects falling on the ground near you. Eris, were you paying any attention to anything?
I think me and the goblins started our card game back up, so I'm definitely distracted.
You were definitely distracted, so roll with the penalty die, but you could probably... Actually, you're probably just rolling 2d6 with...
Yeah, I don't really have anything that would apply to it, so I'll roll 2d6.
Okay. So roll 3 and then drop the highest. Or drop the highest.
Roll 3 and drop the highest, you mean?
Yeah.
36, okay, 2.
Keep the lowest 3.
Okay.
Or keep the lowest 2, because it's 2d6.
We'll roll that, and I rolled a 3.
Perfect. Okay.
Oh, great.
So, yeah. So you are unaware. You are playing cards. You are counting them. These goblins seem to be thoroughly convinced that you're not actually counting cards. And you know you were so kind when you paid for the Starbucks drinks, but you actually had just used the money that you got from gambling with them. So I don't know. That actually probably puts us at this point. The toads, I should say, definitely don't look like they are intending to allow you to pass. So go ahead and roll initiative. So some of you guys, I think, figured out what your d6s were for that. So for most, it'll be 2d6, unless you have a skill that relates to being fast or quick or agile or observant.
I'm pretty agile, so 5d6.
Is there an opportunity, because I got a high enough roll to hear that there was something heavy and loud happening? Is there an opportunity for me to like tell Eris?
Yes, I will say you were able to tell him like, hey, there was something going on.
I didn't actually think that I would be anything but last, but managed.
Oh my god!
Lower than
Jesus! All right.
So I'm gonna roll slippery as like being fast, and okay, so that's just roll that, and that's the initiative. No dropping anything.
Nope.
Nice. That's much higher than a 2.
Yeah. All right, so Lilith, you got 3. Wow, Hector.
2 1s. 2 1s.
Oh man.
And then, am I even rolling initiative here, or
She's gonna let you know, so you can roll initiative, but probably with a penalty.
I'll probably roll it with
Basically, like, I
clumsy
have-
because like I don't have anything attributed to speed.
Yeah, so that you can roll 2d6, but penalty die. So roll 3 and then keep the lower 2.
Okay. Well, roll 2. We got rid of that 3, and we'll roll the 2 1s. Great.
Oh
High
man.
five.
All right,
Wait,
so
what?
Hector and Eris will act on the same turn.
Oh.
And then-
Acting is a strong term.
So they're gonna roll just.
Oh dear.
They will go on 10. The toads. Which puts us at Manasa first.
Yeah, so I guess like I am in the thing going through Hector's book and just like it's very much just because it was here sort of thing. Like she's not trying to like actively engage with it or figure out anything specific. And then she feels the whatever this motion is that isn't cars passing by. And she turns to Eris and she says something to the effect of, I think that we should go investigate what our friends are up to. And then like immediately just gets out of the car. And I don't think that she would even think to tell anyone to watch the bird. So it's still like she's not taking it with her or anything. But she like gets out of the back of the car, heads like straight through the gate and to where she can feel that tremor was coming from and sees the frogs.
So what you see as you like exit out the van is you see this fence. There's a hole cut in it, which is not subtle. There's a bunch of brambles, but like above, like you see kind of the torsos of Lilith and Hector, and then you see like looming above them these 2 giant toads.
They are very large. And you already tried to be like, hey, we're just gonna go and stuff, right?
I mean, I feel like the reason that my initiative is so bad is because I'm still trying to negotiate with them.
So you're like talking and being like, hey, we can work this out.
It's no problem. Like, we can make the appropriate payments, so forth. Like,
Can I like recognize in these toads like the gaze of like they're being predatory and not like they're
I think you can see they are animals, right? They're not like sentient beings, so they are not negotiators. They are there like protect, non-fey, do not enter.
Right. And so Manasa gets close enough to like see this conversation happening and that the toads are just that's not even close to what they're there for. And like she pushes up her sleeve and there's a bracelet, like a metal kind of looking bracelet that she unravels and it's her whip. And yeah, she just from in between both of you where you're standing, like this really thin, sharp whip just reaches out and lashes the closest of the toads.
Okay. So when we do combat, we roll it as opposed. So I'm going to roll against you with my skill, and you're going to do whatever skill you use for your attacking.
Okay.
If it is not a strictly combat skill, which I think none of you have, like quick sharpshooter or something, or good fighter, except maybe Eris, you're going to only able to use a skill for either attack or defense. So you have to declare which you're using for which.
So I'm attacking.
Yeah, so you're attacking. So what skill do you want to use for your attack?
I'm definitely using slippery because this was me getting to this point as quickly as possible and like aiming like between these 2 people and just darting in unseen, as it were.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your slippery.
Okay. 14.
Nice. All right, so they're gonna try and roll their against that with their extra large size. Actually, they're not. Their extra large size makes them somewhat easier to hit. So the frog is like had just finished licking Lilith, and you just like whoosh, and you smack it right between the eyes. So what's the you succeed? You are higher than their defense. So what's your damage?
It's 1d6 with poison damage.
Okay, so roll your 1d6, and then the poison. Did we figure out exactly what the poison does?
We didn't really say specifically. It's just like a damage over time effect that you
Cool.
can like figure. I'll
have
give
them
you
see if they
the
resist
reins on that. 3.
3. Okay. So the first one takes 3 points of damage, and it's like, and you see like its eye like kind of roll back a little bit, and then it turns and looks at you as you're like standing in between them with aloft. All right, next up is the toad. Seeing you there, the one that just got whipped in the face is going to attempt to just land on you.
Lovely.
So you used your slippery for attack, which
Attack.
probably means you can't use it for defense. So you probably
Okay.
want to use Naga for defense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So the frog just like crouches, or a toad crouches down. I need to get right which one's which, and then just leaps into the air and is going to attempt to land on top of you because it is giant. So it is going to use its excessively large size to do that.
I thought it used its size for the defense. You said.
Yeah, sorry, it's going to use the toad for its size for attacking and its frog toad nature
For defense. Okay.
for jumping for attack because it's jumping on you. Ooh.
Okay, got it. So I would use. Oh God, I don't even think I can get that. With great.
Roll really well.
All right, well I'll try. I guess maybe it'll make the attack less. So Naga is 3d6.
Oh.
Nope, it will land on top of you. It probably just catches your tail, so it's going to roll its 2d6 damage. So you take 7 points of damage as it
Awesome.
lands and like
Great.
catches your tail, and then like
Phenomenal.
sticks out its tongue at you.
Oh,
The
no.
other toad is going to go for the one that's talking because it would like the talking to stop. But
Oh.
instead of jumping at you, it's gonna like literally try and stick you with its tongue. It's going to
Okay.
like toad catch you as a fly. Do you have any defensive ability that you would like to use?
I'm a demon, so
Okay.
there. I'm intimidating and have a fiery presence, and I think
That's true. It might be too spicy for a toad.
Yeah, I'm gonna taste very hot.
Okay,
Sorry.
so try and defend with your demon skill. Oh God.
Jesus.
What the hell?
Nah. Why are you rolling so well all of a sudden?
I mean, it's the demon roll. She had to roll 666. So she just had to.
Oh, you
You get
rolled
it.
really well as well, but that was fairly phenomenal. All right, I'm sorry. The toad, however, is not damaging you yet. It has, however, lashed out its tongue and like slam and kind of stuck you and then started pulling you in. So it's like wrapping its tongue around you like you're a fly, and you get the impression that it would like to swallow you whole.
Oh God, come out! We don't have to do this. It's fine. I don't all of
Lilith, it is in fact your turn now.
I am my failing is that I'm a coward, and that like physical confrontations are the place where I'm very, very, very much not a good, useful person. So I feel like I flail,
Okay.
and that's really it. If I'm stuck on this tongue, like there's nothing else I can do. I have a knife. But it's really terrible. It's just it's for ceremonial purposes only,
Yeah.
So I guess I could use that. If I
Do you
can get
feel
it
like you
out.
would maybe spend a turn flailing and trying to get your knife out?
I think basically like this is the turn where she doesn't know what to do and is like
Okay.
freaking out and is scared.
So Hector and Eris, having rolled the same initiative, we can kind of resolve your actions based on whichever would make sense to happen first. Probably Hector, given that he's closer,
Yeah.
and then Eris will join them.
So,
So
rolling
to set the
2
scene,
ones.
rolling in with your 2 1s. Lilith is currently ensnared by a toad's tongue and going to be eaten, and Manasa is somewhat partially trapped under another giant toad that has landed on her tail.
I think this is all too overwhelming for old Hector and his ticker. So I think what's going to happen is he's going to be like, "Ugh, no, and his whole body's going to freeze.
Oh God,
He's
why?
going to lose the ability. He's going to look down at his flintlock pistol, which he's got, and try and attempt to get it. But instead, his whole body's just going to go limp, and he's going to literally fall into the brambles.
Oh,
Wide-eyed.
why? Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
You don't even want to roll to see if that happens?
If you want, yeah.
No. You can take control over this. This is your flaw. If you
I
feel
can
like
try and
this is
overpower this.
the best.
Yeah, try and fight back.
So
Should I
roll
just
your
use my-
undead to
I'll roll
see
my
if you are
undead.
able to stay. And see if you. I mean, you did roll 2 1s,
I did.
so it's probably fair.
It's not very good.
It's not very good.
Yeah, no, you do. This happens. You seize up, collapse into the brambles for a moment as you
I
lose.
just let out a tiny, I'm sorry, and just fall back.
Eris.
Save us, wrecking crew.
What did you say to me? What did you say to me when you left the van?
I said that our friends might need some help, or they might we should. It was something to the effect of we need to go check out what that sound was or something, and then I
Okay.
just skedaddled.
I
Ran
think
off real quick.
I think
Saddled?
yeah, I think as you slither off into the distance, Eris definitely has an inner monologue where he starts thinking of what the best thing to do here is, because he can't leave the Raven in the van by itself. He can't bring the Raven into the Fey world. So
I'm sure the goblins will watch it.
yeah, that also seems like a bad idea to him as well. So is there a barrier? I would assume there's a barrier between would the chain link fence be the barrier between the normal world and the Fey world ish, or
I think we're still in the
could've guessed
normal
that.
we're
world.
still in the normal world, or
Yeah. Right now, you are trying to enter the Fey world, and it hasn't switched over. So you
Okay.
could probably take it into.
yeah, okay. I'll grab the top of the cage with Hector's jacket on it still and start making my way over to where I heard the noises. I'll probably be hearing the screams now, so it's easier to locate.
You definitely see 2 giant toads, and weirdly enough, a lot of people don't seem to be paying too much attention, but you do notice that everybody crosses the street and no one walks past that block of chain link fence.
Okay. I'll do my best to...
They're all just something weird's happening, don't need to pay attention.
Can I fit through the chain link fence, or do I need to tear it apart?
Not the hole that he cut.
Yeah. All right, I'll do my best to... I guess this round action will be to tear the chain link fence open a little bit more for me.
Do you want to kind of just stomp through it, just try and run it down?
Yeah, that works. I mean, either one's going to be some sort of very large, very tall
Yes.
side trait.
And actually, if you want to spend a point and use your super strength, you can guarantee that it'll happen, but otherwise you can just roll being large.
I'll roll for it. I have faith in the rolls, I guess. No, I shouldn't after that one.
Your faith is
13?
Yeah, that'll do it. You kind of storm through the fence. It's a chain link fence. You aim for one of the standing pillars that's holding it up, just charge and knock it down, and it just the whole fence just goes clatter, 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 clatter as you're stomping forward. And you land in between the collapsed form of Hector, the entwined form of Lilith.
Okay.
And that will bring us back to the top with Manasa.
Okay, so I have this toad that landed on top of my tail, which I'm not very happy about.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use... I think I want to use... Because my attack was with Slippery. I want to use Slippery to kind of get myself out from under this guy.
Yeah.
Can I? That's okay. And then I want to put. I want to try and I don't know how much of this I can do on my turn or how much might need to be. I want to get out from under the toad and find a place where it can't leap on top of me. Maybe there's some overhang that's looks strong enough to keep it from just destroying it. I want to find some place that I can attack from, but it can't just jump on me.
So looking around you, there isn't really anything other than brambles and maybe a tiny sapling that's trying to grow. Your better bet would probably be actually being closer to the toad, because it can't jump and leap if you're within too close to it, because it just doesn't have the range. It would be slapping at you with webbed feet if you're closer to it.
Okay, so then instead of backing off, because then it could just leap after me, I just want to get out from under it and maybe jab the handle end of the whip into its breathing apparatus.
And it's little
Yeah.
I don't know what that with the gullet.
I don't know what
that's
the
called.
toad.
Frog bubble.
Yeah. Keep making that noise.
Yeah,
Do that. It's
you're
great.
welcome. I'll make a better one if you pierce it. All right, I like that. So what I'm gonna have you do is roll your slippery to try and kind of get out from underneath it, and then depending on how successful this is, we'll see if you can do your attack on this turn or your next turn.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Let me see if it keeps you pinned with its large size. It does not.
Yay!
Just barely. You
I got
slither out
a
from
9. It got an
underneath
8. Good job.
You just barely
Sweet.
slink. It's slippery, right? Because it's a toad, in a mucusy sense. So you're now covered in toad mucus.
Right.
You're not quite as damp as frogs, so it's a little bit drier, but it's still kind of mucusy. I will say you probably have to spend most of your turn trying to get out from
That
underneath
makes sense.
so
I
you'll be
rolled
able to
pretty
do
low.
your attack next time, but I like that you're targeting it, so I'm going to make sure you remember I'm going to give you a bonus die when you roll your attack.
Okay.
The toad itself is a little bit stunned that you have now escaped from underneath it, so it's going to just try and
whack me.
just whack you with its weird webbed feet. It's probably not going to go super well. Oh God, no.
Oh. So I would defend with my Naga on this one?
Yeah. Or you
Okay.
could, that would be your,
That was my defense thing that I was using. Well, my Naga gives me the natural armor, so it makes sense that would be the defensive.
it's like
Totally
it
fine.
fails
That's 10.
horrifically. Like the frog tries to sit back up on its back, toad sits back up on its back legs and is trying to
Mm-hmm.
does not go well. The other one is going to continue trying to swallow. So at this point, you are now partially in its mouth.
Lovely.
Unless you would like to fight against it.
I mean, of course, I'm gonna fight again. I'm not gonna fight well, but I'll fight.
Roll your demon against their toad. That's one of my favorite things to say. Roll your demon against their toad.
9.
Ooh,
No.
rolled terribly, but they manage. You're mostly out, but they're 1 foot is inside its mouth. You're like,
Somebody, please help me!
all right, Lilith, your turn.
I use my for ritual use only dagger on this frog's tongue that's wrapped around me. I managed to, in my panic, get it out and in a very awkward flailing kind of way, just stab at this tongue that's trying to wrap around me and get it off me. And this dagger is beautiful. It's fantastic. It's fantastic looking, but it's
Not super sharp.
It's not super sharp and well, it is, but it's just not. It's delicate, right? You're liable to snap it or break it in some way.
So go ahead, and I'm actually going to give you a bonus die because you are in the tongue.
Okay.
So that makes aiming a lot easier. That's probably. I mean, you defended with your demon skill, so
I think
might
it's
have
just
to be
it's just a 2d6.
2d6 flailing, but with a bonus die. So roll 3 and keep the highest 2. 9. Nice. You know what? I'm gonna have the frog has a penalty to trying to not get its tongue stabbed by its food. Poor frog. Ooh. How do I actually
Wait. It rolled 4 die to eat me and 4 die to stop. Oh no, wait, that's 3. Never mind. Sorry.
Was it?
I'm just don't use frog twice.
No. It rolled 3 to eat you, but it had a bonus. Or it actually had a penalty, and it still rolled pretty well. So it manages to how do you even manipulate its tongue to largely avoid being stabbed? You deal a few minor superficial blows.
Yeah, I feel like it's more my failing than the frog's success.
You're like, but you have one arm free now.
Hooray!
All right, Eris or Hector?
Hector, go ahead. We'll keep the normal order.
I spend most of my turn trying to gain some control back, I think.
Okay.
Come on, old lefty. Come on, son. I need you right now. Come on.
All right. Go ahead and just roll me 2d6 and let's see what happens. All right, you are above average, which means you get access to one of your arms.
Yes. Oh, Pinky, come on. All right, I'm gonna grab my flintlock. Just mutter that I really need to upgrade. Just kind of take my shaking arm and point it at Lilith's frog.
Okay.
And try and aim for the head above where she's been eaten.
Try and get through where that like whip scar is right now.
Yeah.
All right, maybe it's
roll
not
is
that one.
Because I know the damage. So what would the roll be?
So the roll for that one is going to be probably detective for you, because I think that's how you know
my skill set. Yeah.
Of your skill set. If not, it would be 2d6, and then I'm going to. So their defense. You're at close range, in that weapon, so their defense is actually a lot lower. They don't roll a skill on a ranged attack. You just roll a set defense, which I wrote down, and then I lost the page. This one, you're at short range, so they only roll 2d6 to defend.
Let's hope it's better. Well, worse than 11. Good.
Nice.
Way worse. So you successfully take aim and fire.
Please
a
blow
shot
away
with,
this
like,
frog.
the one limp arm.
It makes a huge noise and like a plume of smoke and everything like that.
Fucking flew.
I'm going to have to reload this one. It's going to take 10 minutes.
I thought it was
Ramrod.
like a revolver, not a
I know. I
flintlock.
went back to flintlock.
How old are you?
Nobody knows.
Not even him.
So roll your damage.
Okay, so that's 3d6, I think. Yeah.
Hey,
Boom.
nice damage.
Ooh, damn. All
Murder
right.
it.
That actually, if you were attacking the one that I think no, it wouldn't be, because the one that she attacked is after her. It is very upset.
Hopefully the poison will do all we need.
No, because that's the one that's going after
Oh.
Nasa, because
Yeah,
which
it
actually
came
I didn't
after me.
roll. I need to. We'll deal with the poison in a second. Thank you for reminding me. So you aim and you take a solid shot, like right between the eyes on this toad. It goes like you see a little bit of brain matter, but unfortunately for you, toads don't have a lot of brain matter. So it's sort of still like one of its eyes kind of goes wonky, and now it can't focus and it can only see with one. But it drops Lilith completely as it's like
Just like gasping for breath, like trying to move as quickly away from this toad as possible.
Am I able to move? Do any sort of movement? Like
where do you
crawl
want to
my-
try to move to?
I just want to crawl towards Eris, I think.
Yeah, you managed to
Off we go,
sadly-
big guy. It's your turn. I slap him on the thigh.
Oh.
When you get up to me, I put down the cage and be like, "Hey, this cage is your problem now. All right, I'm gonna go deal with these toads."
I'm okay with the switch, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I unsheathe my giant club. It's got holes in it. I think I have like a button that I push where the spikes spring out on the sides or something like that. I start walking.
Did you make it yourself?
Yeah, it was a gift from my previous employer when I decided to leave the quote family. He gave this to me as a parting gift. So yeah, I run over to bluejay. You're being chased by a toad, right? So that one's kind of off in the distance.
It's kind of trying to whack at me.
Whichever one looks
One
more.
that's sticky pawing her.
Okay.
That one is probably the one that you might want to deal with.
Okay, yeah, I run over to that one and take a swing at it, which I guess would just be the incredibly strong fringe, which is only a 2d6
Yeah.
though. But I'll still roll. it.
So yeah, you can actually, we'll have that. If you want to roll it as a regular attack using either your Cyclops or your size, then I'll have you add 2d6 to your regular damage to your club if you're going to spend a fringe power.
Okay, so roll. You're saying roll very large, tall. Then we'll add the 2d6 to the 3d6 of the spiked club.
Yes,
Okay, cool.
you will deal a lot of damage.
Yeah, here's
You're going to
the
spend
roll.
if you're spending a fringe power, you
Yeah.
get extra damage.
8. That's pretty bad.
Ooh, all right. So this one, let's see, what does it want to defend with? Probably, it's going to attempt to defend with being a toad. Nope, that's the wrong one. This one.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance.
Yeah. So you take a swing at it, but the toad is like crouches down. It gets really low as it readies to try and pounce on someone next.
Okay.
That puts us at the Manasa.
Yeah,
Top
let's
turn.
figure out that poison, and then I get.
Yes.
Do I get an extra one, or does it get a -1 from me like prepping to?
You get a bonus.
Okay.
You'll get a bonus die. So the poison, I'm gonna have it. I'm just gonna have it roll 2d6. If it gets above a 7, it will
Resist?
not take. It will resist it. If it's below, it will take some damage. It takes
Ooh.
damage. In
Yeah.
fact, for rolling so terribly, roll
Nice.
2d6, and that's how much poison damage it's gonna take.
5 poison damage.
Okay. So
Okay.
this one's like. It's got the little
It's starting to
cut
feel
across
it,
the front.
yeah.
You can like see like it's bubbling a little bit as the poison's taking effect.
Nice. So then, yeah, I will try and jab it with the butt of my whip.
right.
So I was attacking with slippery, and you said I get a bonus. So how is that going to work?
So roll your regular numbers. Is that 3d6 or 4?
It's
slippery.
46 for
4.
slippery.
So roll 5 dice and then you drop the lowest,
Okay.
or keep highest 4 if you want to do it with a macro.
I don't know how to do what
It's
I
all right,
do.
just do roll 5d6.
I'll
and then
just
we'll
roll
subtract.
5d6 so we can
Yeah.
math.
We'll just cut them out.
We can math. So the lowest
Okay.
is 2, so you get 18.
Yeah.
So 18. Damn, I don't think it's even gonna succeed. Nope, it does not. Even though it rolled quite well, you managed to jam the butt of the. Is it like spiked at all? Is it? Like a
It
nice-
was part of a bracelet, so I feel like there's like a decorative like spikiness to the base of it.
decorative
Definitely.
dabbing.
Yeah. It's great. It's a great bracelet. I'm really fond of it. But yeah, when it's got, and this part isn't poisoned. It's the tip of it that's poisoned, but it's definitely got these little like silver spikes that were on the outside of my wrist, but now I'm using it to like jab at it. Like maybe it's, those fencing foils where it has the curve. That's kind of how that is.
Yeah.
And I'm like
So
punching
you
it with
take
that.
this and you ram it into the, and the frog goes,
Great
and
sound.
makes
I
this
love it.
horrible
Massive.
gurgling sound as you like puncture part of its throat.
Nice.
So go ahead and add an extra d6 to your damage,
Okay.
but we won't add more poison.
7.
7. All right. Both of the toads are not looking in particularly good shape.
Cool.
One of them is like gurgling horribly, and the other one is has a hole in its head. The one with the hole in its head, however, like is gonna look over at Hector, who's now no longer next to Eris, who's the one who shot him, and it's gonna attempt to leap on it. It's gonna take a penalty though because it is in pain. So it's gonna roll. So
There you
go
go.
ahead and
Ooh.
try and dodge.
Oh, I guess that would be a 2d6 for me, or an undead maybe.
Yeah, you could do it then, undead.
You want to cliffhanger the roll? We'll take a break and we'll roll. when we get
Ooh,
after.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
All right. Cool. Because we're due for a break, so we'll jump to our final break and we'll come out. And you're not gonna die from this. You're already dead, so you can't really die. So
Exactly.
you got a lot
But it's
going for you.
dead. You never die.
I do.
Exactly.
Also got you in the way.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of factoring his.
He's like
acting
off
as
at the
interference.
side dealing with a different toad.
True.
That's true. That's true. All right, we're gonna take our final break. We'll come back and head into the final hour here of roleplay Sphynx and Satyr. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.